I want to get to your word of the day. It's execution, because I couldn't figure out what you were referring to. What execution are you talking about?
So 2025 was the year where there was a lot of changes that the market was factoring in. Low taxes, low rates, tariffs, a lot of that got factored in 2025. And a lot of the companies were being rewarded for the promise, for the expectation. 2026, we've got a relatively stable macro backdrop, and a lot of the policy changes have already gotten factored in. So the companies that deliver on execution are the ones that are going to be rewarded. The companies that fall short are going to be punished.
All right, so you're mentioning tariffs. I want to show you some Kalshi data right now. About 25% of the people on Kalshi believe the Supreme Court will uphold the president's tariffs. There could be a ruling later today. Again, we don't know for sure, but there's a possibility. The idea of these tariffs being struck down, what impact do you see that having on the market?
I think this is probably going to create additional volatility in the market, right? And right now we are priced for perfection. With the S&P trading at 22, 23 times forward earnings, with the concentration risk in the market being there, anything that creates, this is a factor that could create additional volatility. And we are of the school of thought that very likely we could get a 10 to 15% pullback in the market. This is one of those risk factors that we are watching that could create additional volatility in the market.
I do have to say, in all fairness, a lot of people said we could see a pullback. We haven't seen it, but continuously we've seen people saying there could be a big pullback. I want to go back to the tariffs. Some interesting data and research coming out, including from Wells Fargo, looking at the profitability of different sectors. If those tariffs are struck down, they see consumer staples seeing about a 6% jump. And profitability, industrials also about 6%, and then consumer discretionary materials both about 4%. Do you see that potential upside? And I think that leads us to your pick, Costco. Yeah. The idea of these tariffs being struck down, does that increase the profitability of Costco just, by proxy, the fact that they hold so many consumer staples?
Yes, definitely. And this could increase their profitability in the short term. But then what comes after that, right? So that is also going to, on a macro level, that creates more volatility. But definitely Costco is a company that we think is going to do very well. They underperformed last year. This year, we think that they're going to really benefit, especially the way that we are looking at the consumer. I think Costco is a big beneficiary.
All right. Very quickly, we got the jobs report coming up later today. What are your expectations? Is this a market mover?
I think that the jobs expectations, it's going to show probably a slight improvement. Our thesis is that generally we are in an environment where on the macro level, the market is relatively stable. And I think the jobs report is going to give us affirmation of that.